Okay. Oh, have you already started?
It's rolling, but don't worry.
Okay.
Like, whatever.
Well, it's good to get people natural.
Yeah.
And I'm Janet Balcom. I'm Linda.
And I'm Linda Carter.
Yeah.
And this is The Wavy. And we've been living here. We bought the house in November of 2018. Janet's been living here since December 2018. I've been living here since August 2019. When we first saw this house, we fell in love with it, and we still absolutely love it. We love living here. The month after I moved in, I did do the academy. I did the full academy. I went on the builds, I went on the tours, I sat in on the classes, got to meet and made new friends from all over the world. I just absolutely loved it. I tell everybody this, that at warp speed, I learned about the Earthships, how to maintain it, and got to know all of the workers. It was just really an amazing experience. I absolutely loved it. So, so James,
someday maybe I'll do that. Yeah. But going back, I'll tell you, I was living in California, and I loved California. I liked the nature and everything, but the corporate, I worked in technology, and I really didn't think it was a good, healthy way to live. It was wearing on me, and I thought, I want to feel the earth. That was the statement I always said, I want to feel the earth. And so Linda has a twin. We have a sister who lives in Texas. And I had started a business called Moon Doggy Biscuits because I thought, let me just get away from technology, mathematics, everything that I was doing in the corporate world, and try to feel the earth. And my dogs helped me a lot in California. We'd hike up in the mountains, but it wasn't enough. I said, so I started this business called Moon Doggy Biscuits, and everything was going pretty well. It was in 8 stores in California. And in 2005, there was a real estate bubble. I mean, whew. And all the little businesses that had my doggy biscuits went out of business. And I thought, oh no. So my sister in Texas said, come here, come here. Well, I should have thought, because usually the roll goes throughout the United States, starts in the West, goes, whew. Well, anyway, I ended up selling my home there, which I just loved California, and I went to Texas. And I'll tell you, totally different culture, first of all, and I thought I couldn't get things going. It just, the economy still was going bad, and I won't go through all of that, but I knew I wasn't where I needed to be. And so in 2007, I discovered the Garbage Warrior, and I thought, that's where I want to be. That is where I want to be. But I couldn't sell my house at that point, 2008. Oh my goodness. And I tried, but so anyway, it didn't work. And so in the back of my mind, I thought, and I told Linda about it, I said, this is where I want to be, and I wanted her to come. Linda has the biggest heart, and she's such a good sister, and she's loving. And I thought I need to, because she told me, I want a conventional home. I thought, oh no, because I could have lived in a hut. That's how I felt. I thought I could live in a hut. But anyway, so then roll it forward a little bit. My papa, he did get sick, and he lived with me in Texas, and I thought, well, I got to show him where we're headed, because I felt like he was going to leave us soon. And so this is when we planned a trip up to go to the Lemuria. And like I said, he was so afraid it was going to be cold. It was Christmas, December 2015. We walk in, and he's like, oh, this is better than your house. I want to be here now. I said, I do too. But we enjoyed it so much. And so in the back of my mind, I thought, this is for sure, and showed pictures to Linda. And a couple of years later, it's a long story, but he became very ill. And Linda was going through things with her, a lot of things. We won't go through all of that, but she lost her job. I said, come on down. And she helped so much.
I got laid off.
She got laid off, and so I thought, well, I'll just work extra, because I started tutoring math, and I love math. And it was perfect, because it wasn't corporate. I was helping people. And I thought, in my mind, I thought I could go anywhere with this. And when Linda came down, she helped with my little papa. And our papa. And yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I always say my papa. It's our papa. And but anyway, she helped, and I worked hard.
And then we knew we could live together.
We knew we could live together because we were working in a crisis mode, and we worked it out. And a friend of the family helped us too. It's a long story, but my little papa, he did pass at the end of 2017. And Linda and I were like, what's next? And I thought, I'm going to sell my house. And she had a condo up in Wisconsin.
Milwaukee.
And so she went back. I stayed. And anyway, it all worked out. It was so strange. Just everything, boom. You know, when things are supposed to happen, they just do. And you don't even know how to describe it. And
I had a contract job up in Minneapolis.
Yes.
Still owned this condo in Milwaukee, but I was able to work 4 9-hour days, so I would have 3-day weekends. So I would come down here on the 3-day weekends, and that's how we found the house on a 3-day weekend. We put a contract on it on one of the 3-day weekends. Yeah. And it just all worked. Yeah, it was amazing. I took a road trip with the dogs, and we had a cousin's wedding to go to in New Orleans, and I had an aunt and uncle in Florida. I wanted to take my mother, who was in St. Louis, down there. We had a little trip. I said, okay, I'm going to first go to St. Louis. I'll pick my mom up. My little doggies will stay here. You know, and then she was doing things, and it all came together. We got to go to the wedding together, and then she got to go down to Florida with my aunt and uncle. I went back to St. Louis to be there to pick up my mother when she came back. And then we have family everywhere. And then we thought, okay, I'm on the road again, and I got to see a friend in Kansas with my puppies, and came down here. But then Janet ended up in Albuquerque at a extended stay while I was still working, and then she moved in first in December 2018. Oh, I had so much stuff. A lot of stuff was actually taken, and I thought, that's kind of good. They could probably use it. Whoever, I had so many different things going on, and I thought, whatever happened, we're still trying to get things, we just don't need as much. And we combined things, and it's just we're so happy here. Can't tell you. Happier beyond belief. Oh yeah. And I learned through the academy, I learned then how to take care of the WOM, how to take care of the electrical. So everything now is we just set up a schedule and say, this is when we're going to change the filters. That's maybe every 3 months. It's not. We don't really change the filters, we clean them. Ben Adams helped a lot with teaching us how to clean the filters. And gave us direction there. And helped us with the gray water. With the gray water system, every once in a while, we put the hydrogen peroxide, and the plants love it. And Lou, the plumber, when he was giving his talk at the academy, he even said that. He said, hey, the plants love the hydrogen peroxide, and then it keeps everything clean. But before Linda got here, I thought gray water is going to be a little stinky, but I wanted to use it with our toilets. And it was a little stinky before she got here. And so, she learned, just put the hydrogen in these little, tubes. And guess what? You never know we use gray water. I mean, it's amazing. And sometimes we use the gray water to actually water. But what we found is we really don't want to water the tops of the plants because some of that water, it's not quite as filtered. And I think it's fine because it's actually better if we just keep it on the ground. These banana trees love the deep water, and we always keep in mind that we want to recycle things. So when we shred our paper or shred our paper bags, we can see what Linda did here. And we use it as a mulch, and it works. And I just want sometimes with the white paper, we're like, it looks like it's snowing in here. She's just going to get coffee, and we can do that too. If we want.
I was going to ask you about it. I'm like, wow, that's a great way of mulching for sure.
Recycling, covering everything. And we really like the idea of mulching because then it'll also hold the water in. So then, because our water is captured in cisterns, and if we use the gray water, we're recycling it more. But then a lot of times we just go ahead and use the fresh water too. Especially if we're going to be watering the tops of the plants. The bananas really like to have their tops watered. They like that extra humidity. And so we like to do that with fresh water.
Nice.
Yeah, but if you want to, we'll just take you on a tour now. Yeah, we love our bananas. Janet had some last year, and she said they were the sweetest, best bananas she'd ever tasted.
I actually got a picture of
bananas now. Probably within a few weeks.
Yeah.
They'll be ripe enough.
Wow.
Yeah. And the rosemary, we don't have any trouble, as you can see, with rosemary here. We love it. We cook with it all the time. All the time. And what I do is, it's so easy to start. I just cut off a branch and take the take the bottom off, and then you'll see, I'll show you down here how I've rooted it. We just keep making more and more.
What is this one?
This is avocado.
Oh, that's avocado. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, we love avocado, so we thought just let it grow.
Wow.
Tomato.
We've got a tomato. Then down here we've got some squash, and the green squash and yellow squash. And I found out this is a gardenia and again some more rosemary. We don't have any trouble growing our rosemary. And we love our fig tree.
Oh yeah.
Right now our fig tree, we're gradually cutting it back because it's done most of its fruiting.
This one's almost
ready.
ready.
Once it's fruited, here's one
it's almost ready.
Yeah, when they get nice and soft, they're the best.
They're so sweet.
Very sweet. And then sometimes when if they're not completely ripe and they drop, we just pick them up and boil them till they're nice and soft, and then we just cut them up in a stir fry.
Put them in stir fry. They're really good.
Wow.
Very good.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
And this is our rubber tree.
Yeah.
And we have gone online and figured out how to make some rubber. And whenever we cut off a branch, it's getting to the point where I know I'm going to have to trim it back. And every time I trim it, the sap comes out. And I know when we capture it, we're going to be able to make some of our own, rubber.
Wow, I wish I had known that. I remember growing up, we had one of these, like a huge one. And I remember that sap being all over the place always and driving my mother crazy.
If you
look at that.
It's good stuff.
The pineapple, it was so cute when it was a little baby, and now it's
getting to be good.
Yeah, almost there.
Yeah, probably within 2 to 4 weeks. We've been talking about having a pineapple party and share our fruit with our friend neighbors. We've got some really good friend neighbors.
Oh, that's a good community.
Have you been putting more focus on growing food now since
Since
this whole Corona?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now these here were already there, and I found out in just digging them up one day. These are actually potatoes. So we've gotten some fresh potatoes while going through all the coronavirus things. We pulled that up. Some corn that we're growing, and we have some nice yellow squash. You can see the yellow squash right in here. Yeah. And then this back here is horseradish. And of course, that's going to be a root. This pineapple and this pineapple plant, we just took the tops off of some organic pineapple that we got from the store. And we rooted it in water, kind of like we're doing with the celery. We rooted the pineapple, and once it rooted, now we're going to have more pineapple. And this is our celery. We're rooting our celery, and then here is some, and I do this every week. I bring some new one and see I've rooted it. And so for the summer, we're going to plant some of this outside. And it's actually found out an insect repellent too.
Well, actually, it's more against rodents.
And it's also, rodents don't like it either.
They don't like it.
That's a great idea, yeah.
We've got our basil, and I've got some chives. I just cut the chives back in there, but also some cauliflower. This here is citronella. And so I put this in water, so we're going to get a few more plants. Right.
That's against insects.
No, the citronella, that's really, an insect repellent.
Yeah.
And then I've got where I'm like growing some seedlings. Like this is some dill, and the dill is starting to come up.
It's cute.
So these are my little seedlings, and I have some. I do like to grow flowers along with the vegetables, and so I've got some little forget-me-nots.
Oh, wow.
And they're all coming, and these are perennial, so I'm going to put them outside and inside and see. I'm going to try and see if I can get these to winter over too.
Nice.
And I've got a number of, the lavender has not come up yet, but I've got enough number of lavender plants, and that's supposed to be perennial in this area too.
Yeah.
And it's drought resistant, not a whole lot of fertilizing, so once I get the lavender going, I think it's going to be really good too. Yeah, and here we've got some cucumbers. We found out by going vertical, we're able to plant more. So here's some of our cucumbers, and these are some more cauliflower, and all of these. Janet and I both love the black-eyed peas, and we started these scallions in water, and found out every week when we do our stir fry, we can just cut some off and have fresh scallions every week. And the lettuce doesn't really like a lot of heat, so I put the lettuce down below, and the lettuce, we also keep some in our kitchen. So it's doing really well.
Yeah, that's a great way of definitely taking up more space and taking advantage of the space by having that vertical.
Once these seedlings get going, then I'm going to also put them in more pots, and we're going to have more going.
That's great.
Things at different stages. Yeah. We found out we have another avocado tree that just was here, so I thought, you know what, just let it go.
This is usually beautiful flowers.
Yeah,
what is this
one usually has, it'll bloom, and then we have to cut it back.
Dies.
Is it a hibiscus? It looks like a hibiscus.
What is it called?
A bougainvillea? Bougainville?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
I can
what
see
it
them
is.
there. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. That's funny because they don't usually like to have the roots in water, but
I can't say that I water it a whole lot. I just kind of let the gray water from below water that quite a bit.
Yeah. So you definitely see though that you've been focusing more on growing food with all this happening. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the pineapple was already here and just sort of popped up, but then when we saw how well it was doing and how it's drought resistance, not a lot of fertilizer, so we went ahead and started 2 more. Yeah. And we noticed that once that one dies back, there's a little baby that came off of it. It's going to bring us another one.
It's beautiful. You can see the rain coming. See the rain? I love we love the sky. The rainbows, and one night, it was just the skies. I had never seen anything like it. Usually the sunset, you can see all the different colors with the pink and the orange and the purple. Over here, where the mountains are, deep purple and orange. Linda got a picture of it. She's an artist. I said, she gets the picture, she can paint it. It's beautiful.
I haven't started yet, but eventually I'm going to paint the mountains. That's what my goal is.
That's great.
Yeah, and then here's what we have. We knew we had that bunch of bananas down there, and I told Jana, I said, did you know that this tree over here has got some more bananas?
Yeah.
So we've got another bunch of bananas
back there. We should probably,
That's great.
Yeah. So eventually I want to get more things. I've got some seedlings for sunflowers, so we're going to be growing some sunflower seeds, and I'm thinking once I put some of them in here, I'm also going to put them outside, and we're going to keep a journal of how well things grow.
She's very organized with it.
Yeah, I mean the outside is always a little bit of a challenge here because of the
we have to get
climate,
things that are drought resistant.
Yeah.
And things that don't want a whole lot of fertilizer. But we've also found with neighbors, and what we're going to eventually start to do is inside and probably outside too, is dig some holes and put our scraps, our vegetable scraps,
Compost.
and then actually buy some red worms. And I know Dan had taught and he actually wrote a book about the Earthship gardening, and he suggests especially those red worms because once they form the castings, it just creates a really nice rich compost.
Yeah.
And that's what our aim is get some really nice rich
Yeah, I mean, you
compost.
could get all of this filled with amazing soil that way. And then
Oh,
one thing that I do a lot back home is vertical mulching. So I'll plant a tree, for example, next to it I'll make a big hole and fill that with paper and old phone books and whatever. And so when you water that holds, you know, the humidity for a long time. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that worked a lot. It's a very similar climate than here, so not as cold, but very dry as well. So yeah.
Well, that's a good. See, we're always getting new tips. As a matter of fact, when I was in the academy, we found out how to build a rocket stove. And I also went online and found some directions on how to make a real simple rocket stove. And so we've got a really nice pit here.
Well, it's like a rock formation. We brought, but you know,
And we're going to eventually put a rocket
we
stove.
haven't done much of anything out there. And I have the two big dogs. They created their own paths, and where there's paths, we'll probably have like little cobblestone and stone, you know, path. So there's little paths we can do. We've seen other neighbors have had rock gardens and rock paths. And
There's, you know, like last year, I really cut back on the fig tree, so we do have a lot of wood. And with a rocket stove, that's all you have to do is just feed
Little twigs.
There's your
Yeah,
fuel.
that's true. Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's a little hot out here for me. So this is
the master bedroom. I'm gonna let you show this bedroom.
Oh wow.
I have a bunch of stuff back there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
a California king bed in here, and it fits perfect.
yeah.
It's really been nice.
It's a very
Go ahead and
comfortable
turn
room.
Go ahead and turn
Yeah.
some lights on.
Okay.
And turn the light on back there just so she can
Well,
see.
there's
We're
back
using
here. I still have stuff I'm
we're
putting
just
away, so
using
you probably don't want to get back
storage.
here.
It's okay. I get a good view from here, so.
But we love the bathrooms too, because there's
Yeah.
stained glass back here. I'm gonna step up here so you can come in. But there's beautiful stained glass, and I have a little
Yeah,
planter
that's a
back
nice one.
here too.
Yeah, your reception cell.
White ginger plant. It's kind of getting overgrown there, but
That's white ginger. Wow.
it's a white ginger. But it's not the edible type. It's
It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, so that's just your little reception cell. Do you keep a sock or perennials or something in there? You do?
actually yes. The old nylons.
Yeah.
And we changed this one. I think it was like once every 2 months.
Yeah, this one does not
This one is
require because it's just
Yeah.
for me
Jen,
here.
you want so she
Oh,
can
I'm
live in
sorry.
That's
Can
okay.
I get out of your way here.
No, it's totally fine.
shower too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love the extra little touches with the tile and the stained glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were able to get a picture of this.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
You absolutely love it.
Yeah.
It's nice. Oh, the temperature change. Huh?
Yes, it's like air conditioned in there. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just go ahead and turn off the lights real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, did you want to just go ahead?
Sure.
So this is the other bathroom. And actually the bathroom that I'm going to show you in here is also, it has 2 entrances, one for the bedroom, and the other then is from the greenhouse. So so this is kind of like our public bathroom and the bathroom for this bedroom. Yeah, so, and so here's the, as a matter of fact, it might be easier to show off this bathroom if I open that door.
That's okay.
Do we too? Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, again, they have a really nice tile up on top.
And then the reception cell for this bathroom is the same one as in the kitchen,
I
right?
can
Yeah.
show you that.
Yeah.
And again, they have the beautiful stained glass here. Just love it. Yeah, I had a friend neighbor come over and she goes, "Oh my gosh, this looks like a hotel." And I said, "Yeah, isn't it nice?" It's just so nice. We actually love it. Yeah, so we have 2 entrances to this bathroom.
Turn this off. It's beautiful.
And this is his the bedroom. I'm not gonna walk in front of you.
It's like the
It's okay.
Memoria. where there's an open closet behind the bed.
Yeah.
And then you have access to your systems room from there?
Yeah, this is to the actually laundry room.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do have a very nice walk-in closet behind here that's all cedar. And the air tube is actually in this right behind this closet too.
Yeah.
And then this is where the laundry room is, and then over here is where the WAM.
Can I open up the
yeah.
wall?
Yeah, I think we may have some. I can just kind of get some things out of it. We keep some of our nice rigs in here.
Oh, you use it as storage too. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we use it for extra storage. That's what we do.
Have you had to change your filters, or have you just been cleaning them?
We have not had to change the filters at all. We've been cleaning them. The only thing we did have to do, we did have to replace the pump. Yeah.
Nice.
And then some of the gauges, we had them replace the gauges. And I found that out when I took the class. I told Janet, I said, this pump is just not quite working. And I put a little dish under there, and maybe a teaspoon a day was kind of dripping. I said, we definitely need to get a new pump. And then we just had them replace this gauge, and also to the pressure chamber over here, we had had them change that gauge, and now everything's perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great that through the academy you were able to learn how to do that, yourself.
I love it.
Yeah.
It worked out perfect. I'm just going to kind of move these a little bit here. Yes, and then
should we just go through
so
here?
Janet and I, we just cleaned it ourselves. And we just kind of watched the pumps, and they've been working perfect. And then the older pump, we just kept it as a backup, just in case something. But we have not had any trouble. It's been wonderful. Oh, and then there is I'm going to show you this because not all of the Earthships have this. But there is a nice little gauge in here that lets us know exactly how much water. Right now the water is right in here, so you can't see the level. But it lets us know where we're at 40% and where we need to order water. And since we've been here for 2 years, we've only had to order 2,000 gallons once.
Wow.
So,
and you have, how much do you have total?
We have 8,300.
8,500.
Okay.
Oh, 8,500? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I told Janet, I said, we can't buy this house unless we have at least 6,000. But we have 8,500.
And you had to order water just one time?
Just one time.
That's great.
That wasn't any big deal.
The first year I didn't have to order at all.
At what level are you now?
On the water? Oh, you mean as far as the level?
Right now? Yeah, what did
I
it say?
think it's at least,
About half?
what, 6,000? But
It's between 5 and 6.
And wow. And it's been really dry this year as well. That's really good, yeah.
We did order a couple.
we had them delivered
Just
water about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And monsoon season is here, so.
So that will be nice. That will really fill. I hope.
Yeah.
I like your cooling tube doors that you have here. They're not always like that. I like these ones a lot better.
Yeah.
You can really feel how nice and cool it comes out of there.
Yeah, we've got 2 air tubes in here. Yeah. And then we were lucky enough to get the Sunfrost refrigerator. This is on DC.
Before they stop making them.
Before they stop making
Yeah.
We love it. We just really do. And then we've got a pantry and plenty of storage. And one thing I did research the copper counters because I found out they're actually more antibacterial than the stainless steel.
Yeah.
So we just really do like having the copper too.
Yeah, in India they drink their water out of copper bowls and copper glasses and bottles because it's a disinfectant, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got the propane gas.
So that's the only thing that you basically have to
We've only
bring
had to
in.
get it once, and we don't use a whole lot of propane. We found out.
I'm gonna stand over here because otherwise I get too much light in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and then right behind, what we decided to do is right behind. This is where, we have to change the filter, the reception in that box. And then what we decided to do is, especially since we know lettuce likes cool weather, it's a cool weather plant. So we've been growing some arugula and lettuce right behind our sink here.
Nice.
We'll probably put some more herbs back there too.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Definitely have more plants now.
Have you had more people like interested in the way you're living, like ever since this whole thing happened? Because that's kind of what we're seeing.
Oh yes,
around the
a lot
globe.
of students that I have.
Yeah, even
I have adult and children, but I would really like the children. I want the young adults to know too, but it's important for them to learn. Yeah.
And we have not had any trouble getting insurance, homeowners insurance. As a matter of fact, when we talk to people, even like who are helping us get insurance, they're like, wow, I'm really intrigued. And so I had made a video of a tour of our house. And so people are like, we want to see it. So I said, okay, go out and watch our tour. Yeah.
When we talk to them, they can see. I had one student, are you in a log cabin? They saw, the Vigas. No, it's an Earthship. Yeah. So he was in Colorado. I said, you should come on down and check it out.
Yeah.
So people are very interested, I think, especially now.
Oh, now, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing across the globe, is that even those people that were still a little bit, curious about Earthships beforehand or doubting it a little bit, that now all of a sudden, it's really spiking everyone's interest because it makes more sense than ever, right?
That's so true. I have friends in California who thought, oh, that's Janet. She's a little off. Not off in a bad way, but, like she's out there. And they've called and said, oh, man, you're in the right place. I said, yes, come on out. And they're thinking about it now. It's important. Yeah. It might be a good jolt for people to realize this is the right way. The other way is ridiculous. Yeah,
people
they're starting
have
to realize.
connected with me on LinkedIn. Some of my business associates, I've gone back to school online, and they're like, where are you now? And when I said, oh, I'm in Taos, New Mexico, and one of my coworkers is in Florida, and another former classmate of mine is in Texas, and they're like, well, you're out in the middle of almost nowhere, but that's probably the best place to be right now. And we're like, yeah. And so everybody has said, we want to come and visit. And then when I was going to the academy, we did invite all the students in my class to come over, and instead of just having a tour, we actually had a little get together, and then so we could all talk more about the Earthships, and it was good. Yeah,
we love it here.
And they've still stayed in touch with us through WhatsApp. Yeah, Lauren helped us get onto WhatsApp. It's been really good. Good way to stay connected.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's funny as well. Like, if you talk to people around the world and everybody's quarantining and so on and so forth, and you're just like, well, that's kind of what we've been doing here for the last few years already, right?
Absolutely.
Deborah,
this is how we live.
We said our lives have not changed that much.
Not really.
So it's been really.
Because you've been ahead of the game in a way. Now everybody else is realizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.